Hello, my dear student. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are quite okay and fine. Welcome you all to my today online class. Before going to start my today's lecture, first of all, I would like to introduce myself to all of you. I am Muhammad Ghulam Morshed, lecturer of biology, Milestone College, Uttara, Dhaka. Okay. Now let's discuss about our today's lecture. Today I am going to discuss about the chapter 3, that is the human physiology, digestion and absorption. Okay. The learning output after completing this lesson, student could easily explain the role of nervous system and hormones in food digestion. Now first of all, I would like to discuss about the role of nervous system in digestion. The hunger centers located in the hypothalamus and brain stem of the brain regulate the intake of food. A drop in blood glucose level stimulates a craving for food. However, there are two separate nervous control of digestion: the intrinsic and extrinsic nerve plexuses. Okay. So now let's discuss about the intrinsic nerve plexus. Okay. The intrinsic nerve plexuses of the digestive systems are collectively called the enteric nervous system. This extends to form a dense network of neurons on the wall of the esophagus, stomach, small intestine and colon. The intrinsic nerve plexus, this nerve plexus functions independently of the central nervous systems and controlling different functions in response to stimuli inside the digestive tract. There are two intrinsic nerve plexus that control the short reflex of the digestive system. Number one, the myenteric plexus, which control the contraction or peristalsis of a smooth muscle in the digestive system. And number two, submucosal plexus, that actually controls the secretion in the digestive system. Okay. Now let's discuss about the extrinsic plexuses. The extrinsic nerve plexuses control the long reflex of the digestive system. The long reflex involves the central nervous system and nerves of the autonomic nervous systems. Okay. The extrinsic nerve plexuses control digestive response from outside the digestive system, such as emotion and information about food from the special sense, sight, smell and taste. Okay. Now the extrinsic nerve plexus. The extrinsic nerve comes from both branches, sympathetic and parasympathetic, of the autonomic nervous systems and alter the activity of the intrinsic plexuses. Hormone secretions or directly stimulate or inhibit smooth muscle and glands. The extensive input from the two branches of autonomic nervous systems have different effect on the digestive system. Number one, the sympathetic, that actually tends to be inhibitory, decrease the secretion and muscle movement, constrict sphincter, and parasympathetic tend to be excitatory, increase secretion and muscle movement and relax sphincters. Okay. The researchers now believe that the network of the interconnected nerve cells lining the large intestine has a key roles to play in food intakes and its digestion. This enteric nervous system is now often referred to as a second brain. Now let's discuss about our very important topic, that is the role of hormones in digestion. There are so many hormones that actually control the whole digestion process. The major hormones that control the functions of the digestive systems are produced and released by the cells in the mucosa of the stomach and small intestine. These hormones are peptides in nature and collectively called gastrointestinal hormones. Okay. Now let's discuss about the role of the gastrin in food digestion process. First of all, this gastrin hormone is secreted by the gastrin cell in the pyloric region of the stomach. It stimulates the gastric glands to secrete and release the gastric juice. It also stimulates the gastric mobility. Okay. Now another very important gastrointestinal hormone, that is the secretin. This is the first discovered hormones. It is secreted by the wall of the small intestine. Secretin activates the pancreas to secrete pancreatic juice. It also stimulates the stomach to produce pepsin enzyme that digests protein, and it is also stimulates the liver to produce bile. Cholecystokinin, it's a very important gastrointestinal hormone. It is actually produced in the last part of the small intestine, which is known as the ileum. This hormone is secreted in response to fat in chyme. CCK stimulates the release of the digestive enzymes in the pancreas and stimulate the emptying of bile in the gallbladder. Now, enterokinin, the another very important hormone, which is secreted by the wall of the ileum. Enterokinin stimulates the intestine to secrete its own intestinal juice. It causes the gallbladder to eject bile into the intestine. Now, the peptide PYY, it is produced in the ileum. It plays a role in slowing down the passage of food along the gut, which increase the efficiency of the digestion and nutrient absorption after meal. Now, another very important hormone, gastric inhibitory peptide (GIP). It is in the new duodenum and decrease the stomach churning in turn, slowing the emptying in the stomach. Another function is to induce insulin secretion. Now the somatostatin, it is secreted by the delta cells in the duodenum, acts directly on the acid producing parietal cells to reduce acid secretion. Okay. Now the pancreatic polypeptides, it is secreted by the PP cells in the endocrine pancreas. The functions of the PP is to self-regulate pancreatic secretion activities. It also has effects on hepatic glycogen level and gastrointestinal secretion. Now the villikinin, it is secreted by epithelium of the entire small intestine. It accelerates movement of the villi. Thiocrinin, it is secreted by the duodenal epithelium and stimulate the Brunner's glands to release mucus and enzymes into the intestinal juice. Enterocrinin, it is secreted by the duodenal epithelium and stimulate the crisps of liver cone to release mucus and enzymes into the intestinal juice. Now the homework. Okay, why enteric nervous system is called the second brain? Thank you for your patient sharing. I think today's lecture was very much effective lecture for all of us. I am humbly requesting you all to watch my video lecture for several times so that you can understand each and every topic that have already discussed here today. If you have any queries regarding my today's lecture, feel free to ask me, or you can also ask your respective subject teacher. Thank you all. Khuda Hafiz.